I just show you the review of the LaMelo Ball signature shoe from Puma with a very idiotic and confusing name. It's called the MB.01. We had Volume 1, Issue 1. Please cut that bleep out. It's pretty annoying. It's just one. And MB.01, when you keep saying that, it just sounds like it's a shoe for Embiid. That's my personal problem. Go with a unique name that you have. LaMelo or Lamel 1 or something. If you say Melo, we think about Carmelo Anthony. 1 of 1, and this little tattoo that he has on his some part of his body and his shoulders or something. That phoenix wing and everything. That motive is all around. Design at a glance, it just looks like a plain Puma shoes, and if at a close look, it looks like a slightly PE touch around the shoe. I don't fancy this design. And this phoenix with #1 logo, if the wing is spread, it looks okay. It looks like a phoenix, but when it's like cropped up on the side, and this looks like an eagle, so it kind of reminds you of the dark history of a German military that you might not want to remember. So that's what it kind of reminds me of. Maybe it's just me, but instantly that's what came across. Not from here seems to be the main motive. Okay. Because if you're such a unique player, you don't have to plaster it all over your face. You don't need to go on Instagram and post like 1,000 photos of yourself saying, look at how adorable I am. I just feel that this is a bit too reflective of the depth of character of the player. I guess it's needed for marketing. The box itself looks like the box for Buzz Lightyear. I guess Toy Story is one of his favorite movies. And on the outside, you see this rare, which seems like it's written with crayons, which is something you see on Woody's sole in Toy Story. It's written Andy there, so this seems to be an interesting and cute motive. First of all, for a size US 9, it weighs about slightly more than 440 grams. So similar to LeBron's. I know these guys are both like LeBron 6'9", LaMelo 6'8", but playing styles entirely different. They're built different. So when the shoe weighs that much, it doesn't feel as heavy as what the digits show, but it's not the lightest shoe out there. It doesn't feel like a guard shoe for the 21st century. Let's get the basics out of the way. Fit, I say you can go true to size, but you might need to go down half a size or go up half a size, depending on how you feel after you lace up the shoes and feel how the foam, the foam, I guess, yeah, the foam padding, the sponge padding all around the shoe kind of forms your foot, because all around the tongue, the side, the ankle, everywhere, the padding is super thick. So what it does is, if you like shoes that kind of slowly provides this hugging feeling, this is a shoe for you. By all means, go ahead. You'll have a lovely outing with this shoe. But at the same time, you never know how that foam is going to bottom out or flatten, and how that would alter the fit of the shoe. That's something you might want to consider. For me personally, I feel like it's not the widest shoe, but it had an extra room on the toe. It's a little long. It's a little narrow. Not crazy narrow, but another thing is, like, they have that padding all around, even on the top of your foot, but regardless of that, there's a little bit of a wiggle room and a dead space on top of the toe box. So yeah. And once again, if it's really well padded and there's a lot of thick spongy layers around it, what does it do? Ventilation is very, very poor. It's a mid-cut shoe that almost seems like a high cut, especially heel part. This is what you get on a super high top shoe if you get those classic Air Force Ones. So this really is annoying, because when you're moving around, you will feel this like chucking and kind of like choking your Achilles. It's not bad. I mean, it's well padded all around, but we could have done with this being cut a little bit lower to prevent that choking sensation that we don't appreciate. I guess if you wear a thick ankle brace, it's not an issue for you, but for those who don't, these days people wear low cut, so what's with this retro trend? The cushioning, nitro foam, feels like a light strike. Basically, it feels like Dame 7. Dame 7 without the idiotic carbon plate, anti-inversion plate right below your foot. So you feel a better cushioning sensation on the forefoot compared to the Dame 7s. There's a there's a heel to toe drop that you can feel, but not incredibly. The funny thing is on the forefoot, it's pretty low to, it's not low, it doesn't feel low to the ground, and yet at the same time, it does not provide the kind of cushioning that you would expect from some shoe that's not that much low to the ground. So it's strange. It's a strange mix. And another problem with the shoe is that the midsole cushioning is only like 49% of the overall cushioning. The Strobel board is super thick. So Strobel board, and look at how thick the insole is. The insole is sort of like an ortholite-like material, but it's a little bit more dense and super thick. So the insole and the Strobel board takes up about half of the cushioning. So when you feel that stepping comfort once you try the shoe on for the first time, don't be fooled by the cushioning you feel, because those are the preliminary layers that's going to bottom out eventually. The nitrofoam itself, it's not as bountiful there. Try the shoe with the insole removed and see what you feel. Again, there's a Strobel board that acts basically like what would be insoles working for most of the shoes. So I think that's something you might want to get across and get done before you purchase the shoe. These triple axis, these TPU plates, I thought they would be a bit of a hindrance, but they did not affect the cushioning or the compression of the shoe in any way, so that was good. But and also it extends all the way here, almost near the forefoot area, so it provides great torsional support. So even if the base of the shoe is not that wide, this is actually pretty closer to the narrow side compared to most basketball shoes out there. But despite the narrow width of the base, because of this TPU stabilizer, you have this added sensation of security. It works as an anti-inversion support pretty nicely. The outsole pattern, it's a mix of Kyrie 4s, KD8, and Soldier 11. So think about the strength of those outsoles and the weaknesses of the outsoles. I can only see Soldier 11 being the weak link there. So this is pretty dust sensitive, and the rubber is very sticky. There's a lot of tack there, so it's going to be attracting a lot of dust. So if you're playing in a lot of dusty courts, you will eventually succumb to dust, and the grip of the traction will be compromised significantly. And depending on the areas, I can see that they took a lot of try to pay homage to the Kyrie 4 patterns and whatnot, or some of the Kyrie patterns, but the grooves are not as deep, and yeah, so durability is gonna be another concern for you. If you play this outdoors, don't expect the patterns to stay intact for too long. So it's weird. It's for clean courts. Not a big fan. So I guess it also depends on the kind of rubber material that they release with other colorways. But for this, it's very sticky, and the grooves, again, I feel like they could have been a little bit different. Yeah, not bad. Better than some of the terrible Adidas carbon copy paste herringbone traction for sure. But definitely not something that's, pushing the bar up or upping the ante in terms of future basketball shoe cushioning evolution or revolution. I think this shoe is a little overhyped. I feel like it's a little overpriced. I guess it's good investment or good memorabilia if you're a big fan of LaMelo Ball, or if you believe that he's going to go places. But let's see. He's in one of the worst teams in the league, with the greatest player and one of the worst maestro behind managing a team. So let's see what happens after his sophomore year. I'm not bad-mouthing LaMelo or anything, but I just feel like they're kind of jumping the gun a little bit. And Puma is trying to really ride LaMelo Ball, and Michael Jordan, of course, is expecting him to do great things. But based on their track record, compared to the All-Pro, I think this is very comparable, except it's a choice between whether you would actually prefer having a puck of boost on the heel instead of just light strike feeling foam all around. The outsole pattern also, I feel like All Pro was a little bit more heavy duty in terms of it does not get super easily impacted by dust. This is a little bit more dust sensitive. Definitely an improvement from the first basketball shoe that Puma released for the first time in the longest time, which was a Court Disrupt. Disrupt was it? Clyde Court something. The first one with the orangey one where they made all players they signed up wear it. Trae Young dropped out of the Puma ship and jumped to Adidas, and he actually played better with his Adidas. So that also speaks volumes about, the quality of the shoe. All Pro was good. I feel like this is not an improvement from All Pro.